We are calling for help for all the countries in the world. We call for help here in Bahrain. We cannot tolerate this. We cannot bear this. The hospital is full of casualties. All the medical staff are running all over the place. There are victims thrown in the roads. Nobody can free them. Nobody can bring them to the hospital. It's a chaos here in the hospital. That's the way I describe it. We call for an urgent call for everybody in the world, United States, European Union, all the Arab leagues, all the Arab countries. Please do come here to help us. We are an innocent people. They haven't done anything. They have just demonstrated peacefully. They were on their way to the hospital and they were shot dead. We have a lot of deaths here. I cannot describe the situation. It's awful. It's awful. That's the way we can describe it. It's chaos. The hospital is full of casualties. All the medical staff are running on their feet. It's quite difficult to accommodate all of these casualties. The hospital is nearly full. We've taken a lot of patients to the theater. We took patients to the ICU. The accident emergency is full of casualties. It is unbelievable scene. It's undescribable.
Doctor, I know that you have a job to do there, and we appreciate you talking to us. Can you update us on the number of people that you believe have died?
It's uncountable, my friend. It's uncountable. It's very difficult to count the number of casualties. We can't even identify them because they don't even hold their IDs. They were thrown on the roads. There are tens, if not hundreds of people are just still on the road. The ambulance cannot reach them. They were stopped by the police guard. They can't access them. It is very hard to describe the situation. It is really, really hard.
Now our top story today, protests continue throughout the Middle East. Now we want to focus specifically on just a few countries, why the protests are taking place, what the people want, what the governments want, and of course, what the results will be. Now it seems like the entire region is in flux right now. Let's start with Iraq. 3 people were reportedly killed, dozens injured during clashes between protesters and security forces in the southern city of Kut. Now, of course, this is something of great concern to the United States, considering how much is riding here on maintaining stability in Iraq. Now, protesters there were demanding the removal of corrupt officials, and they just wanted basic services in the country to be improved. Now, here you see them. They're throwing rocks and bricks at Iraqi security forces, and apparently they even took over the city's provincial and government buildings today. Now let's take a look at the island state of Bahrain. This is a crucial ally to the United States. In fact, the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet is there, as well as, of course, those major oil interests. Now, protesters have occupied a central square camping out there, pretty much emulating the events that took place in Tahrir Square in Egypt. And, of course, in Bahrain, there's discontent among the majority Shia population against the Sunni dynasty, which is the ruling power there. And, of course, economic hardship, political strife, all adding fuel to the fire. Now, let's move north now to Iran. The protests here were organized by Iran's 2 main opposition leaders. Now, the demonstrations left 2 people dead, others injured. The folks on the street say they went out in support of all this unrest in neighboring countries. And of course, we can't forget about Tunisia and Egypt, which is where all of this started. In Tunisia, things not settling down there either, despite Ben Ali's decision to step down. And looks like labor strikes are also continuing in Egypt. So, of course, the million-dollar question is, what happens next?
Shalom. This is the GMS Mississippi camp. I'm the brother of War.
Sahab. Lahab.
We got
Banyanya.
Right. And basically the topic today is the clock is ticking on Babylon. If you've been keeping up with the news, man, you've been seeing all types of riots, all types of, all types of hell break loose lately, man. And if you don't think that's coming to America, you out your mind, man. It's getting bad in America. The only reason it ain't hit America yet is because these fools in America are too busy trying to figure out why the Lakers got beat by the Cavaliers, They're too busy trying to figure out some stupid shit, man. Well, you know what? They gonna get caught off guard, cause the white man, he's out in Baboon Bomber, the one who's supposed to bring you all types of change. Selected. Bring you all types of change. He ain't bring you no damn change, man. Well, yeah, he did. He brought him some change. Everything a lot worse now. That's the change right there. Put a coon in office, and that's what they gonna do. Now, America's about to reap the consequences, man, for not just for the stupid decisions it's done made, but for being built off wickedness and mainly persecuting us. So the Lord is we're in a time now where the Lord could be coming any minute now, man. Anything could set this whole ripple effect off, man. Anything. They could fuck around and grab a pipeline over there in the Middle East that's giving the U.S. oil, and you'll see $5 gas prices overnight, man. So yeah, all this stuff you talk about, you 2 years ago, back in 2008, just about 3 years ago, you couldn't see any of this stuff happening. Now you see it happening. And now a lot of you people want to try to come back into the truth. Well, guess what? You better go do your own thing, man. All right, go ahead.
Matthew 24:7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
Right. Now, it's earthquakes every freaking day, man. They don't even want to show them on the news. All right, go ahead.
Verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
Right. These are the beginning of sorrow. It said nation against nation. Wars, rumors of wars. And and if you heard what that doctor was saying on post-production, it's like a war zone out there, man, in Bahrain, man. Then you got Yemen. Then you got, man, nothing. Everything that happened in Egypt is unspread, man. And it's going to keep on spreading. You think things actually finna lighten up? No, things ain't going to lighten up, man. It's going to get harder and harder and harder until this bitch you call America can't breathe, man. What was it? They had a protest in Wisconsin. You call that a fucking protest, man? Where little children out there sipping on snow cones, man. You Americans, man, you're living in a fantasy land, man. See, Bahrain and Egypt, they got the balls to come out there and die and force some change on their government, man. But you Americans, man, you wouldn't even consider dying for your own child, man. There's nothing manly about America. You patriots claim that you patriots are so-called patriots. You're not gonna save America, man. All right, get 2nd Ezra chapter 9. I gotta push.
Second Ezra chapter 9 verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, And when thou seest part of the signs past.
And that's why when he said measure out the time diligently, that means when you measuring something, you keeping record of it, basically. So what we doing, we watching, man. We watching to see which time we in. That's why we able to tell you the riots and the economy and all this stuff that's going on, man. You ain't gonna find it on the news. So what we doing? We digging in and we researching. So we're measuring the time diligently, man. All right. Go ahead.
And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Exactly. When you see part of the signs pass, that's how you know that the Lord's getting ready to come back very, very soon. When you see those prophecies come to pass, go ahead.
Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
Right. The Most High had this plan ever since he created Adam, man. The nation of Adam, you know. He already had all of that planned. He was going to create his people, put us in slavery under these nations, and he was going to bring us back and give us the kingdom, man. This was already set up, man. Before the spirits were even created, man. This was all planned out. Esau doesn't want that. But you know what? The Most High's word is true, and especially the damn devil is a liar. You know, and you coons who love the white man, you're a bunch of liars. You know, the Lord's word is true. We can give a damn about what you think or your opinion. Every brother has a opinion. Sir, I mean your opinion as far as what if the white man could be saved? Not all white people bad.
No doubt.
Yeah, those type of doubting opinions and all that stuff. But every man gonna have his own opinion. Every man with a brain who's not a man follower. All right. Go ahead.
All right, verse 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. And like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
Exactly. The end is manifesting itself right now, man. We're watching it. We're watching guys get offended, fall off. We're watching guys, we're seeing some of everything happen. All of the prophecies coming to pass, man. It's working at a way faster rate than it did in 2010, than it did in 2009, especially 2008. Jake was waking up in 2008, not fat, being trimmed. I mean, it ain't even no regular just, she kind of big bone fat that's getting trimmed off. Nah, it's that obesity fat that's getting trimmed off, man. Hunks getting trimmed off.
You got guys that left over the Facebook issue, man. Many should be offended.
I'm a grown ass man. Hey, look, man. That's and I made a video, man. On Myth Destroyers, basically telling Jake, man, calm down, just humble yourself. Jake couldn't do that, man. Jake couldn't do that. Just follow simple instructions, man. And I wasn't even passing out no order or nothing. I was just saying, hey, man, you need to calm down, man, for the Lord end up smoking some of y'all, getting you out the truth. It was advice, because I'm seeing on the outside view of what you're doing, man. us brothers see what you're doing.